Let's bring in NBC 10's political commentator Sue O'Connell with us. Sue, last night during a town hall on CNN, Kamala Harris was asked point blank if she believed Trump was a fascist. She said yes. I think his supporters on the other side, they would argue that he's a patriot. I turn it over to you right now. What are your thoughts?
So who had asking if a major party candidate for president was a fascist on their 2024 bingo card? Not me. Look, retired Marine Corps General John Kelly, who was Trump's longest-serving chief of staff, he told the New York Times on the record and on a recorded phone call, which you can listen to, that after reciting to them what the definition of fascism is, which, by the way, is a far-right authoritarian movement led by a dictator who uses the military to suppress opposition, Kelly said that Trump falls into the definition of fascist. So every day, Trump is saying something or someone reveals something that gives American voters greater insight to Trump's character. So why did Harris choose to amplify this and not say Trump's remarks from just a couple of days ago about Arnold Palmer? Because she and her staff are running a very disciplined campaign, and she wants to make sure that she's calling attention to the issues she thinks Americans must consider before they vote.
Well, here's one of the things that I feel like a lot of people are confused by, right? If you've been following this as closely as obviously we have, right now there's nearly 30 people from Trump's first administration that have come out against his bid for re-election. That includes, you just mentioned, his former chief of staff, also his vice president. You and your seat there, I know that you've spoken to plenty of Trump supporters out there.
I have.
Why don't they care that most everyone who is involved in his first administration is scared that he'll get a second?
I keep asking. I keep asking the Trump voters in my world and folks I don't know on social media this question. And the responses that I get are a stew of everything that they think is wrong with America. Some of it mis and disinformation thrown in for spice, and then they put it all in a pot and they blame the Democrats and say that's why they're voting for Trump. But that does not answer the question, right? So I can only guess that the idea of an autocrat or a dictator as leader of the United States is appealing to them. And so what does that mean? It means that when the Democrats say democracy is on the ballot, it may actually not be hyperbole.
Let's talk about early voting quickly here. It's underway in a lot of places across the country. It's actually breaking records right now. That's good news, right?
Yes.
That's welcomed news. Our democracy is at work. Now, there's been plenty of talk, however, of voting blocs in this election cycle. Black men, Latinos, women. Which bloc, in your opinion, do you believe will decide this election and why?
I think two groups that you didn't mention will decide this election. The first is the youth vote. And as we've said a million times, if you're depending on the youth vote to win, you're going to look for some heartache. But I think that they may actually be working towards something here because young men may vote for Trump and the Republicans more than ever before for their demographic, and more young women may vote for Harris and the Democrats than ever before. So what they do will indeed have a significant impact on the outcome. And the second group is Republicans who don't want to vote for Trump. If they stay home or leave their vote for President blank or vote for Harris or a third-party candidate, that, too, could be a deciding factor in this election.
All right, so a busy 12 days ahead. Sue, as always, thank you. Our political team will get you caught up to speed on the election all next week with special live editions of At Issue. You can catch our Corey Smith, Sue O'Connell, and Matt Pritchard as well. They're going to break down the ballot questions and focus in on the top local races as well as the presidential race. Starts Monday, 7:30 right here on NBC 10 Boston.